Hello and welcome back. Today we have this pen. It is really, really stunning. This is the Hongdian 100, as it says over here. I realized that in one of my previous videos I had used Google Translate to figure out what Hongdian means, and I said it means red dot. But today I actually found the characters from their company webpage, and I gave it to someone who can read Chinese, and they told me that that's not what it means at all. So what it really means is the Hong means something that is very like grand and worldly, and then Dian is basically a word that is used in conjunction with another character to mean like a sightseeing place and etc. And it can have multiple meanings, but the main thing about it is that Hongdian just means something that is really grand, really like worldly, and with lots of like culture and history and etc. So that's basically the meaning of the brand name. And as you can see, this is ridiculous. This pen is like truly ridiculous. It is the Ode 100 pen. That's what I've been seeing it listed as. It is a piston filler pen, and it is really stunning. I'm going to be reviewing this today and giving my first impressions. So first off, let's just talk about like this design. It is so cool. There's like a little pagoda down here that leads up a set of stairs to a lake or something, and all throughout there's this filigree in the background that's really stunning. And of course the piston knob is slightly different with this banded area. It actually gives you a bit more grips, which is really nice. And the clip is also very unique because it's scalloped on this side. It has like a scalloped edge. So it's just really stunning. And at the very top, there's this star. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like ridges inside this, underneath this like plastic bit that has ridges going along the star all the way into the middle red part. Actually, this is my least favorite part of the pen. I think that this kind of makes it look a little bit more dinky than the rest of the pen, but it's stunning otherwise, right? So let's open it. It is a twist cap, and let's see how many turns it takes. 1, 2, about 1 1/4, 1.5, somewhere around there. So it comes with this large number 6 nib, and it says 1997, and I got it in the medium. I'm hoping that this one is going to be a little bit soft like their other pens that have this sort of nib, and it comes with the same sort of feed as well that is like rounded on the side. The grip section is small, but as small as in lengthwise it is small. However, the actual grip is quite thick. The pen has I wouldn't say it's like a substantial girth. It's like thicker than some other pens, but it's not as thick as, let's just say, your typical like OPPS pen, OPPS 88 pen, and etc. It's more like, it feels like the same width as a TWSBI, as a regular like TWSBI Eco, TWSBI Swipe, etc. All of those kind of have this sort of medium width of the pen body. So can't twist anything here because it is a piston filler. And just turn the back. And as you turn, you can see that there is an ink window over here. And if you can very carefully look, now the ink window is all black because the plunger inside has pushed all the way to the top. And then you can close it back. So one really cool thing about this pen is actually it came with a tool. The seller gave me this tool, and it says, it's also labeled LT Limited Hongdian, and it has a little wrench symbol. engraved in it. It is very, very cute. But basically, it is this pronged structure with two little hooks at the very end. And those hooks are really, really helpful because this, if you turn it all the way here, it stops at this point and then you can't turn it anymore, so you'll break it. You can take a look underneath, and I don't know if you guys can see, but let's see if I can really show you here. Okay, you can kind of see it. Like right there, there is a hole, and basically you just align that hole with the other, with the hook over here, and let's see, where is it? Ah, okay. So now that it's in, it will look like this, flat. And basically what you guys can do is you can turn this and then open this up and to clean the entire piston fill mechanism, which is great because you don't want any residual ink, let's just say, or if you put something in here, like I write with shimmers and sheeners, so that means I have to wash very, very frequently. And this tool is so awesome, and it came with the pen, which is great. So with that, let us get started. So first, I'm gonna close it up, make sure it is all the way there. And I have to think about what ink to put in here. I kind of want to use some samples that my friend gave me recently, which is these three. I've made a little short for them if you want to take a look at how they look like. So there is Dominant Industry Winter Night, which is stunning. Love that. There's also Dominant Industry Ginger Chicken. That's super cute. But I don't think I'll use either of those. I'm debating between Ferris Wheel Press Valiant Blue, which is so shimmery, so metallic, but so is Vinta Inks Lake Bay. And I think I will go with Vinta Inks Lake Bay because this is a stunning pen. And I kind of want to write with this one. I think that would be really nice. Or maybe I should save it for another one, another pen. This is really hard. No, you know what? Because it's a piston filler, I'm gonna completely contradict myself here. And I'm just gonna go with the Winter Night. And the reason I want to do that, oh God, do you see how much shimmer that is? Jesus, that is a lot of shimmer. So I'm gonna shake that up. And the reason why I'm going to use this one instead is just because if anything happens, as in I lose a lot of ink or like there's a spill or something like that, then I won't run out of my Lake Bay because I really do like the way that that looks. Okay. It's shaken up. Putting this in and then turning the piston to get some ink up. And then usually you have to do this a couple of times just to make sure everything's fully saturated. Oh my God. See? Sometimes it gets really messy out here. So let me wipe off some of this first on this side before I clean that up. That is a lot of ink that has dropped. So let me just wipe this. And I like to give the nib a quick little swipe there. I'm going to cap this pen for a moment, and I'm going to see if I can grab some of this back into the ink bottle. So I have a bunch of these pipettes, which is great because I can squeeze it back in so I don't lose all of it. Let's get some on the edge here. Oh, I'm getting it everywhere. sometimes I'm just like, why? Why did I do this to myself? Because I literally have, guys, I have a holder for these like ink bottles that makes it such that it's less easy to tip over. And also, like, I could have just done this in a bigger bottle, but instead I was like, nope, I'm going to be lazy and do it here, which is not the right move. I would use this to kind of grab this just because I don't want to get my hands all dirty, all inked up. Okay. So, you know, I still have most of it in here. That's fine. I'm not gonna edit this part out. It's just, you can see the true struggles of someone who uses fountain pens. Sometimes this sort of thing happens and then you're like, everyone's like, well, why, you know, this wouldn't have happened if you used a ballpoint. And it's like, yeah, I guess you're right. But like, at least the cleanup's easy, right? Just takes a couple moments and we're good to go. I'll probably go over this part again later just to really make sure it's not stuck and staining this anymore. Maybe with one of them magic erasers, the Mr. Clean magic erasers. Those work really well. Okay, moving on. So now I have it inked. It's primed because I pulled it out from that area. Let's see how this writes. So once again, this is the Hongdian Ode 100. And it has a different version that's red, and it's like a lacquered version. Between each of these grooves, they like painted it basically. And that one I think is much more expensive than the one that I have here. I think it's also fitted with an 18K gold nib, and this is not. So this is a medium, and you can find this in also available in extra fine and medium as well. And of course, this is the one that I have. So this is a medium. It is a number 6 nib, and it is a steel nib. So let's check for some line variation. See if it is pushable. And nothing. So if there is any, it's extremely little. So let's try this. So when I look at it, it seems like it is a wet-ish writer. Actually, no, I would say this is a little bit on the drier side. Yeah, it is. It's not a dry pen, but I would say not super wet. And it's interesting because there's like no line variation, but it does feel a little bit springy. And I'm not sure why, because it's not like, it just feels like it's a little bit bouncy feeling. But there's no line variation. I also find that it is smooth, but not glossy. So its feedback is not like a pencil. I would say its feedback is more similar to something that's a little bit harder. I'm just struggling right now to come up with a proper comparison. So there is feedback. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is scratchy and 1 is super smooth, I would say that this is in the, like a 7.5 to 8 in terms of the feedback is what I would give it. It is a heavier pen, not super heavy, but it is somewhat heavy, and I would not recommend posting it because I can already feel in the cap there is so much weight. And once posted, it's like this. Like it is quite back weighted. So let's try writing with it. It's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it. Also, I wouldn't recommend that because you don't want to accidentally like twist this knob. I've realized that this knob is quite easy to turn, and I don't like to over tighten it just because I've over tightened things before and they like have either cracked, or when I unturn it later and try to open it back up, I have a lot of troubles doing that. So I just don't over tighten. Just tighten to finger, like so your finger can't move it anymore. It's fine. But let's take a quick look at this ink though. I hope you guys can see that it is like, especially up here, it is shimmering. There's so much glitter in this. I love it. And once again, this is the ink. Is Dominant Industries, or is it Industry? Winter Night. Overall, I feel like this pen is, it's getting smoother as I write with it. So I feel like actually this pen might need to be broken in. So that's something to note. Some pens I find they need a lot of time to warm up and they finally can write in a way that you like. Whereas other pens, I find that right out of the box and even weeks after using it consistently, it just writes exactly the same how it came out of the box, and it doesn't get better, doesn't get worse, it's just as is. This is one of those pens that I would say it probably feels like it will feel better over time. I really like it. I think this is a stunning pen. I think that it definitely is well priced. It is around that like $50 mark, at least from what I've seen. You can obviously get a little bit cheaper, get it a little bit more expensive. It really depends on the time of the year, if there are sales, where you buy it from, etc., etc. But this is just, it is so stunning. It is so pretty, and it writes really well. Like it's like quite a fun steel nib experience. I would actually say that this is like the more feedbacky version of my Leonardo. Like my Leonardo La Piccolina writes, it feels like this. Like there's a little bit of a bounce, but then the line variation is just like there's not much. You can barely see it here, but I'm like pushing, so that doesn't really count, right? So you can see it, I don't even need a lot of effort and it will write. So that's great. So I want to revisit this. When I said it's not super wet, it is wet, but it's just not like juicy. But even so, even with that, just look. I'm not even doing anything right now. I'm just, the weight of the pen is what is allowing it to press on the paper, and I am writing. So I think it's still decently wet. This is a wonderful pen. Overall, my rating for it, I'm going to give it, considering the price, considering the how it looks like and the finishing of this, everything feels really nice. It's machined quite well. Nothing is sharp, and the grooves are deep enough that it's not like if I did this a bunch of times or if I accidentally rolled it on the floor, it would lose its engraving or embossing, it would still be there. And just look at that. Yeah, I have to give this one like a 9 out of 10 at least. No perfects, because perfects would probably be like a Grail pen. Or you know what? I would give the Diplomat Arrow a perfect. I love that pen. I have like 5 of them. But yeah, so that is my review for the Hongdian Ode 100, and I hope you like it. Let me know if you have this pen or if you have something similar to it. I'm always taking suggestions. And let me know what is your favorite silver colored, steel, titanium, whatever it may be, pen. All right, see you guys next time. Bye. Hope you have a great day.